There's more 2K TV on social media. Make sure you're following us at NBA2K_2K TV. And check back here next Friday because we got a fresh episode for you, and we will see you then. Bye.
Terrific performance of the national anthem. We'll be right back with more. Hold on tight and don't go away. Welcome to the weekend, everybody. Let's get it going with NBA action on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And giving us the rundown from the sideline, David Aldridge. DA, it's all yours.
Rockets coach Mike D'Antoni is the modern-day godfather of pace and space. His teams in Phoenix popularized small ball, moving around and pushing the tempo in their 7 seconds or less offense. It's ironic that now his Houston team plays a much slower isolation style of basketball. Kevin, that shows his flexibility and D'Antoni's ability to adapt to his personnel.
Whatever works, David. Thanks. Clark, you and I were looking at the rosters. Both these teams very deep, so there's a lot of fouls to give tonight.
Yeah, that's a great observation by you, Kevin. And when you have that kind of circumstance where your bench is deep, it allows you, I think, to bring an aggressive mindset in terms of how you're going to defend and how you're not going to allow easy baskets because you're able to foul and not be so concerned about foul trouble.
And the Houston Rockets starting 5. We've got Booker, Harden out there with Gilgeous-Alexander. Then there's Davis Bertans. And it's Allen in at the 5, roaming the paint. And for the Celtics, Tobias Harris is out there with Tatum. And it's Vucevic. Then it's Paul George. And it's Young in at the point. Here's Harris. And it's sent back by Allen.
It's really hard to shoot over Allen, which is probably why you shouldn't try to do it.
Gilgeous-Alexander surveying the D. A fadeaway, and Vucevic pulls it down.
I tell you what, the defense should send Christmas cards for that miss.
From deep, George. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
He can certainly stroke it from deep. The three-pointer is not a shot that George is going to pass up.
Gordon with it. Now guarded by Tatum. Rebound, Boston. Home court didn't seem to help any last time they met. We'll see if it makes a difference this time.
Well, they were on the wrong side of a very close matchup last time they met. But what a great game.
And in that game you mentioned, it was a great game. The reserves played a huge role.
Harden against Harris. Off target at the rim. Last outing for the Rockets, it was a loss to the Lakers in Los Angeles. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. It's on Jared Allen. Well, the last few years, we've seen a huge improvement from Tobias Harris's shooting the deep ball.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kevin. He went from not really having a reliable outside shot to being a 40% shooter from outside the arc. It's opened up a lot for the rest of his game, and it's a big reason why he scored over 20 points a game last year.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
He's off on the first.
Well, you look at the career of Tobias Harris, and, boy, he's bounced around a bit. Has never slowed his development or production, though. You put him anywhere, and he'll find a way to help his team.
He hits the second from the line. And with Harris, he's been moved so many times. You know what, Greg? You forget he's still quite young.
Yeah, I mean, he really is just starting to enter what should be the prime of his career. Has improved every offseason and is a great rebounder and scorer.
And Trae Young gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. Allen surveying the D. Shot clock at 6. Bounce pass from Gilgeous-Alexander. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
Well, I covered Jared Allen in college, and you look at the physical profile he's got. 7.5-foot wingspan, big hands, explosive, really good athlete. And he's got all the tools and an upside without limits.
First free throw is good. You were talking, Clark, about Allen's length and leaping ability. He's dangerous around the rim.
Boy, he sure is, guys. Still developing his skill game, but he's already more than serviceable at the offensive end of the floor. And we know he's a rim protector defensively. Good feet, gets up and down, has a nice touch and good hands. Boy, this guy is going to be some kind of player going forward.
So he picks up just one from the line that time.
A stalwart defender who knows his strengths on offense. I mean, Allen is a fantastic two-way threat, and he wants to get better. This is a guy whose future is bright.
Now, here is Harden. Jason Tatum missing his last shot. Bertans in the post, guarded by Tatum. Bertans' shot is good.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Well, this early, they should be showing a lot more energy on defense. It's not there.
Now, here's Vucevic. He's coming off a 19-point game against Milwaukee.
And it was an unselfish night for him as well. He got plenty of assists to go along with all those points.
Rockets trail by 3. And here's Harden. He's coming off a 37-point game against the Lakers.
Boy, I thought his passing was absolutely fantastic. I mean, really picked apart the defense all game long.
And they're unable to get the time basket there.
Really just struggling here in the first few minutes. 5 attempts with only 1 falling.
Booker dishes to Allen. And here's Harden for 3. Up and in, it's good. First basket of the game for him. 1 for 4 shooting.
Yeah, the easy hoop assisted by Allen that time. He's developed a nice passing game.
2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. It's going to be on James Harden. Well, Clark, there's nothing like opening night. Preseason in the rearview mirror. Now the games count for real. Terrific time.
Yeah, exciting for everybody because hope springs eternal for all teams in the league.
Take a break.
After you get beyond preseason, and the games do count. They start calculating and documenting W's and L's.
And that one falls for Young.
And, of course, all the comparisons to Steph Curry. Young just trying to be the best version of himself. And we've already seen the upside.
And so Young nails them both.
Probably as close to a sure thing as you can have at the free throw line.
Harden against George. And they pick up 2. Harden's got 5 points so far.
They have Harden played the right way there. Aren't giving him any space, but his focus is so good. He just doesn't let the defense bother him.
Now, here is George. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Bucks in Milwaukee.
What opened things up for him was his passing. He was making so many plays that the D had to play off him.
Here is Harden. Paul George making his last shot. The 3. And Vucevic pulls it down.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
And And George kicks to Young. First three-pointers off the mark. And so Booker will bring it up for the Houston Rockets, trailing by 2. Shoots from 14. That shot no good. Great D that time from Tatum. Inside, here's Harris, and he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Well, they say the post-up big man is dead and gone in the NBA, but don't tell that to Nikola Vucevic, an offensive focal point, and he does some of his best work on that low block.
Shooting 2.
First one falls for him. And you look at the footwork of Vucevic inside, his moves and counter moves, terrific.
Shades of Kevin McHale. And that's something he's continued to develop in the pros. A response to defenders who often surpass him athletically.
Here's what Boston's going with right now. Daniel Tice is checked in for Vucevic. Porter comes in for Tatum. Drew Holiday is checked in for George. And Barton subbed in for Trae Young.
You know, over time, I think Harris has become really good at accepting more responsibility, and that's part of learning how to be a leader.
Now, here's Clarkson, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by Allen.
Looking now at some numbers for Lou Williams. Last year, getting it done. Last season, he averaged 20 points a game, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds. And you talk about guys who just have a nose for putting up points. He is one of them.
Yeah, he sure is, and he rarely has back-to-back bad games. If he has an off night, he usually follows that up with a big night.
Healed against Porter. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
And he's got a great balance of knowing when to slash inside. Porter needs to keep being this aggressive on the drive.
Now, here's Clarkson on the wing. Williams. The Trae. Another miss by Houston.
They hold the early advantage on the glass.
Yeah, nothing major, not a huge advantage, but certainly a good sign for them going forward.
Harris against Zeller. Harris inside. He doesn't hit that one. And the Rockets take it the other way. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Here's Clarkson. Another miss, and they've really hit a rough patch here. And it's Harris off the drive. It's rebounded by Houston.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's going to buy himself a ticket to the bench if he keeps shooting it like that. He has been putrid here this quarter.
Woo-hoo-hoo, that's the stuff of nightmares for the defense. They'll see that one in their sleep. A long athlete like Allen flying in the air, that's a bad picture.
Here's Tice. Jared Allen making his last shot. Tice passes to Barton. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
Excellent body control around the rim. Barton didn't let the defender distract him at all.
Williams against Barton. Williams' shot is off.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And you know what? He's not going to give up an easy finish at the rim. I mean, that's just against his constitution.
And the Rockets with possession here after the basket by Boston. And it's Zeller atop the key. Lays it up and banks it in.
And that's just a great individual play right through the teeth of the defense.
Celtics leading by 6. There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. Tice finds Harris. And slam dunk by Harris.
You know, we talk a lot about athleticism, guys. It's important. And right there, Harris used his well to create for himself.
There's Williams. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now. free throw missing.
Kevin, we always talk about it. I mean, those second-round picks who turn out to be gems, no one thought Williams would end up at the free throw line as much as he does.
And he's good on the second. Here's Holiday. And the last shot before the buzzer is off. And that does it for the first quarter. Celtics lead by 7. And we'll get the second quarter underway on the other side of this break.
They said second to 10.
Paul George had that nasty broken leg back in 2014. He describes what inspired him to come back even stronger.
My inspiration really came from my mother. You know, her dealing with stroke, her dealing with really being down and out. You know, I saw her fight back. That was enough for me. In my darkest days, I knew it was nothing to what my mom went through, and she came out perfectly fine, so.
Well, what a story. George worked hard to get back and is not disappointed in his return.
You know, recovering from a devastating injury is never easy, but George's perspective and commitment helped him to overcome it.
And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. What do you guys think about the Celtics here in this one?
You got to credit their defense, communicating, rotating, making plays on the ball.
They've got them rattled. It's only the first quarter, and already they've made enough big plays on defense to last really an entire game.
You've got Holiday. Brooks is out there with Robert Covington. Then there's Daniel Tice. And it's Barton in at the 1. That's the Boston 5. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, we know about Lou Williams' story. The 3-time Sixth Man of the Year may be undersized, but he keeps finding angles to score. Williams said, "I can't shoot straight up. I've always played crooked. It's weird, but it's something I've developed, fading away from guys. I have bigger defenders on me, and it's just about creating space." Kevin, even well into his 30s, Lou Will still does it as well as anybody.
I would totally agree, David. He is always deadly. Thank you. Just 3 to shoot. Williams. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. It's going to go on Will Barton.
Well, I tell you what, Kevin, every year it seems like Williams draws more fouls per minute. Man, he's a very savvy offensive talent.
He'll take his 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the game right here. That one misses. And Clark, when you think back to your playing days in high school, what memories come to mind?
Well, just the fun of being able to have success all 4 years I was at St. Joseph High School in Cleveland, the way the city rallied around us my senior year when we had a chance to play for a state championship. Unfortunately came up short. The teammates and coaches and teachers that I had a chance to enjoy those 4 years with, all really fond, special memories for me.
Greg, I'm just so impressed with the level of finesse that Lou Williams always plays with.
And Kevin, you don't stay a perennial Sixth Man of the Year candidate at Williams' age without having more than a few tricks up your sleeve. He's so good in tight spaces and can find a way to get a shot up where others just have to kick it out.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
First free throw is good.
Well, you talk about athletic families. Both of Drew Holiday's parents played Division I college basketball. 2 brothers also in the NBA. His sister played at UCLA. Oh, and By the way, his wife is a gold medal winning soccer player. That is tough to beat.
Both good from the line that time. And Drew Holiday, one of the three brothers playing in the NBA at the same time. Greg, how often do you see that?
I mean, we had the Plumleys for a while there, but the Holidays, probably the most notable example. Aaron, Drew, and Justin, a basketball dynasty in one generation. Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
And Holiday, here we go, misses from short range.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Found wide open, he fires. Misses the three. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively, for sure.
Nice move, he stepped back and cast it up. And that's now 7 points for James Harden. Celtics leading by 13. Here's Holiday. He can't get it to go. Harden with the defensive effort. Booker outside. To the middle. A nice shot by Zeller.
Seems to have a knack for hitting guys in their spots. His vision excellent.
Holiday against Harden. Vincent trying to break free. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
It definitely has the respect of the locker room. Holiday is someone that players enjoy playing with.
On the night, he's gone 2 for 2 at the stripe.
And at the line last year, he was good on about 77% of his attempts.
Shooting 2.
And the first one at the line is good.
You know, he didn't get to the line in that entire first quarter. But right now, he's showing some aggressiveness out there.
Boston making some changes. Vucevic checked in for Saric. Jason Tatum comes in for Dylan Brooks. And Paul George is subbed in for Brown. And the Rockets making a change here as well. Gilgeous Alexander's checked in. He doesn't get the second one.
Well, you know, for so long, Mike D'Antoni has been a vanguard on NBA offense. His teams have always played great offense, moving, spacing, dynamic players. Defense has not been at the level of offense, but I think he's actually improved as a coach in that area as well.
And here's Harden for 3. He can't get that one to fall. And the Celtics going the other way now. The Wizards on the road to face them after this game. That'll be the latter half of this 2-game homestand. Here's Holiday. Good D by Booker. And Clark, part of it for D'Antoni is that he is delegating defensive duties.
Yeah, and I like that, Kevin. He's made sure to have a defensive coordinator on his staff, delegating that role and responsibility. He thinks and knows that his team is better off that way.
And here's Holiday after Devin Booker getting his shot to go from deep. On the wing. And it's wide right. It's off the rim.
You look at him, and he's a little hit and miss from there, even without a defender in his face. No guarantee.
And up the court come the Celtics on the break. George passes to Tatum. The dunk and the foul. A powerhouse move, and he's got a chance for one more at the line. It goes on Devin Booker. Guys, you talk about players coming in and with a huge impact. Jason Tatum showed he was more than ready to be an NBA star.
Rare do you see a player as polished and as impactful as Tatum step right in to be one of the top players on a top team with Boston. Fits their system perfectly, and really the sky is the limit for that young man.
And that one falls for Tatum. As you're watching a game unfold, what characteristics do you look for in a great closure?
Obviously confidence, a real eagerness to make difference-making plays late, and somebody who can create his own shot if a play breaks down. I mean, that's essential.
Here's Young. The Rockets making the shot. Let's hit 5 from 18. And Tatum with the basket on the assist from Young. Tatum's got his second bucket of the night.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Well, when you look at the assist total, heck, they've been clearly the better team.
They grabbed their own miss, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. It goes on Jason Tatum.
Cody Zeller, his level of activity is really contagious. I mean, that's what I love about his game. Excellent hustler on both ends of the floor. And he does a lot of good work just by staying active.
And that one falls for Zeller. And with Zeller and his activity, you see it on the glass as well.
Yeah, you look at Zeller, and he's a guy who really doesn't do anything great, guys, but he does everything really well. And to have a big guy like that is really valuable.
Clarkson, he's checked in for James Harden. Off on that one, so he goes 1 for 2 at the line. George against Clarkson. And the layup's good off the glass. George has got 7 points in the game.
Yeah, excellent determination there from George. This wasn't going to be denied. Fighting off the physical contact and nailing the shot over good defense.
Now, here's Clarkson. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
And those second chance points really become almost like bonus points when you can get them.
To the paint, here's Young, and the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
And although he's smaller, Young willing to battle inside and shows you he can score through contact.
And this is his second trip to the line tonight. Looking at who's out there now for the Rockets. Allen's checked in for Davis Bertans. Hield comes in for Devin Booker, and it's Williams in for Gilgeous-Alexander.
Find the lane. Find the lane. No shot.
That free throw good from Young. Here's Williams. Goes up at the stripe, and Houston again with the bucket.
Well, I tell you, Kevin, a high number of Williams' points come from the mid-range. The defense knows that. It's in the scouting report, but he still makes it happen.
Now, here is Young. He's got 5. Here's Hield. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast. 1:33 left to play here in the second quarter. Young dishes to Tatum. Over Hield. Allen with the rebound. Rockets trail by 10. Hield outside. Williams against Young. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points. So 1 free throw coming up.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
Looking at who's out there now for the Celtics. Daniel Tice is checked in for Vucevic. Harris comes in for Jason Tatum. And it's Will Barton in for Trae Young. For Boston, they come into this one following a loss to Milwaukee. Passes it to Tice. And he converts the layup. And the Celtics lead by 9.
Leaving folks open around Barton is a no-no. He'll torch you whenever you do that.
Williams for 3. His shot is good. Scores his 3rd basket in 6 tries. Shooting 50%.
And they are absolutely stroking it from beyond the arc.
And George kicks to Harris. And we're going to have a jump ball. It's tied up there. Rockets with the ball. They can go 2 for 1.
It's about being smart right now.
Here's Williams, and it's blocked. And up the court come the Celtics on the break. And a wide open look for Porter. And he gets it to go from the corner. Porter's got 6 points.
Yeah, they've gone away from the triple as they look to protect this lead.
Yeah, you know, sometimes that can be a mistake. But they weren't shooting it especially well early on, so I think it makes sense to shy away from the triple.
Now here's Williams. From deep. And that one released in time, but no good.
I'd like to see Barton be more consistent on this end. He has the height and length needed to challenge shots.
And so it's the Boston Celtics holding on to an 8-point lead heading into the break. Their lead is where it is because they've gotten good shots. A lot of good shots. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Here with head coach Brad Stevens. Coach, what did you think was the main edge you had?
Well, I thought defensively we were a lot better, and then that led to some offense. But obviously, we're playing a bunch of skilled guys, and we're able to spread the floor, and that's helpful.
You have to make them work at both ends. Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of quarter number 3.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. Out in front at the half is Boston. They have a solid 8-point lead. And Shaq, what are your thoughts on Boston?
Well, it was an unselfish, team-oriented half of basketball. The ball never stopped moving. Their offense had a great flow to it, preventing anyone from getting lazy out there. They're always moving, cutting, knowing where they need to pass the ball out.
And over to Kenny. What did you think about the Rockets?
They ran into a bustle, and it was on full blast. And once they fell behind, the crowd got into it, and it seemed that they lost a lot of confidence. They started pressing, forcing things, and it made it work. So in the second half, relax, man. Just remember, there's 2 more quarters. It's a fresh start.
Thanks for joining us, folks. We're now just a few minutes away from the start of the third quarter.
And if you're just joining us in this one, first half is in the books. 1 half to go. You have to like what we're seeing from Lou Williams.
And how about the amount he's contributing in the scoring column? Through 2 quarters, he has been terrific.
And you know what? They've come at him a few different ways defensively, and nothing has slowed him down.
And it's Harden with the ball for the Rockets. 8-point game. So on the floor for Houston. Travis Bertans out there with Jared Allen. Then it's Harden. Then there's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And it's Booker in at the small forward spot. And the 3-ball is good. And that's 10 points for James Harden.
And Harden is a laser, a straight-out gunner from deep. Has confidence in his long ball. And, you know, the defense has to get out on him from out there.
Now, here's Vucevic. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet.
You know, one of the basic fundamentals in basketball is the ability to box out. He's got that down pat.
Harden kicks to Bertans. Harden with it. He's got 10. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Clock at 4. Bertans can't get it to go.
You know, defensively, you just can't afford to give him that much room. They're fortunate that he missed that one.
And really just led him to his sweet spot for that finish.
Moves on moves. That's Jason Tatum.
I mean, this guy's a natural isolation scorer. Jab steps, crossovers, turnarounds, fadeaways. He's got an awful lot in his bag.
And the Celtics with possession here. The Rockets making the shot. Pass to Young. Launches it. Basket is good. The assist from Harris. 8 points for Trae Young.
Yeah, that's good vision from Harris. I mean, he draws so much attention himself, so he's become a capable passer.
Booker outside. Now the pass to Allen. With the fadeaway. Rebounded by Vucevic. Vucevic has got his 8th rebound here tonight. On its way from Young for 2. And there are the Celtics with another basket.
They found a nice groove in this half, starting out 3 for 4.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Booker. An easy 2 points on the layup. Booker's got 5.
Yeah, the D has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor.
Young finds Tatum. Outside, George. Three-pointer. Good on the three-point shot. 8 points for him.
Everything going to plan here to start the third. 80% shooting thus far.
The drive by Booker. The shot, no good. And it's Boston the other way. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. Offensive rebound. Vucevic to the pass to George. And the Celtics hit again from deep.
But the confidence that George brings to his game is also confidence that impacts and injects his teammates. He's a high-octane scorer who's ready to go as soon as the game starts and whenever he gets the ball.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the weak coverage play.
And it's good for 2.
They've been going to him an awful lot this game, and you can see why. He's pouring it on.
Harden kicks to Gilgeous-Alexander. Harden can't hit.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And what I like about it, Greg, it's been a physical brand of basketball. It's had a little sandpaper element to it. Gritty and rough. But that's how you win games.
And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets. Zone defense, Clark, being played now by a lot of teams. It's amazing that even with that, the point totals just continue to rise.
And you know what? I attribute the point totals continuing to rise to a couple of things. One, the volume of three-point shots that are being taken. And I think teams are playing at a little faster pace universally. You don't see as much walking the ball up the floor as I think you may have seen in years past.
Here's Barton. James Harden picking up that last basket. Pulls it from the elbow. No good on the shot, a bit long that time.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
That's good from Booker on the assist from Harden. 7 points for Devin Booker.
He does not lack for confidence, and he shouldn't. I mean, this guy's a dangerous scorer.
Outside Holiday, the 3, and again, Paxton with the triple.
And the D has gotten a little bit laxed here defending the triple.
Harden surveying the D, and yes, it's good. Harden's got 14 points for the game.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
Now here is Holiday. He's got 8. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. And let's take a moment, guys, to get your take on the scoring so far for Boston.
Well, their passing has been picturesque, a thing of beauty in both halves. More than a few of their baskets have come off assists.
Yeah, but also, they haven't missed a beat in terms of their fast break game. That's been equally as effective all night long.
And he knocks down the first one. For a couple of years now, the NBA has released the last 2 minutes report detailing missed calls in any game. Does it hurt the officials to have that information out there?
I don't think it hurts. It's not always comfortable, but I like the transparency of the move. I really do. I think when we're transparent about the human nature of what we do as broadcasters or referees or players or coaches, I think it makes for a better product. So I'm in favor of that.
Now here's Williams. He's got 10. Poked away and stolen by Barton. Here's Porter, and finished off by Porter.
And once Porter has some momentum behind him, boy, he just rides it to the basket. An exceptional dunker of the ball.
Here's Clarkson. He's still scoreless so far in this one. Here's Hield, and the shot goes down.
And, you know, coaches will take possessions like that all day long. Phenomenal use of the screen there.
Boston leading by 17. Now Porter, 8 points for him. Holiday, the pass to Porter. Five to shoot. Good for the 5th time in 5 shots. He remains perfect.
Well, you know, Porter can expect this. Defenses are going to try to be physical with him, try to get in his head.
Williams inside. Barton defending. Barton with some nice D. Covington into the lane. Can't connect from short range. It's good.
How frustrating for the defense. You get the stop, but then fail to block out.
Well, you know, that's the way it's going to be for them today, fellas. Can't sustain any momentum.
To the inside. And finished off by Bertans.
Good unselfishness there by Williams. I mean, he recognized the roller had the nice angle to score.
Here's Holiday. Here's Tice. Rockets with the rebound. Bertans got 6 rebounds now in the game. Here's Clarkson. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It's going to go on Will Barton. And it seems like Jordan Clarkson may have found his niche as instant offense coming off the bench.
A perfect fit for a scoring-minded combo guard. Clarkson able to create his own shot and comfortable pulling from all 3 levels.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Throw good. Clarkson.
You know, one of those rare second-round picks who played well immediately. Clarkson was first team all-rookie and continues to develop.
And so he hits both. And so it's Porter bringing it up now for Boston. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Holiday goes in, and the shot goes in. Holiday's got 7 now in this quarter.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
And, you know, he should be getting extra attention from the defense, not less.
Barton against Williams. Good D by Covington. And so it's Boston with a 19-point advantage heading into the next quarter. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
Served him up a tasty room service dime right there.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the 4th quarter, but stranger things have happened. Holiday out there with Will Barton. Then it's Porter. Then it's Robert Covington. And it's Tice in at the center filling out the middle. That's the Boston 5. Down low. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. And Clark, one thing that makes Will Barton so good is that he fits right in among any group of players.
And I like the pace he plays with, guys. He doesn't seem to force the issue. He lets the game come to him, and when he has opportunities to explode, he usually does. He's always moving. He's active at both ends. He's a high-quality performer.
That free throw good from Barton. Well, here's kind of an interesting perspective question for you. How much of making it to the NBA is talent? How much of it is the work you put into it?
Kevin, if I were to give this a ratio, I would probably say 65% talent, 35% work ethic,
Wow.
because you have to have a level of unique giftedness to be an NBA player. Many can work really hard and not be NBA caliber. So I think there's, I tilt that 65-35 talent to work ethic.
6 to shoot. Healed from outside. And Tatum pulls it down. Tatum's got his 4th rebound in this one.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far.
Goes back up. He takes it up and lays it in.
Those defenders just look a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
Williams with the ball, picked up by Harris. Williams gets to Clarkson. Healed outside. Over Tice. The 10-footer finds the target. And it's 6 points for Buddy Hield. And here's Martin. Pass to Tice. It's stolen by Allen. Oh, here comes Williams all alone. Drops in the breakaway layup.
Running so smoothly. Williams saw the opening. Nothing but points for him when he gets in that position.
Game moves along. 2 minutes gone here in the 4th. Martin passes to Tatum. Over Williams. Nice spin off the left rim and in. 12 points for Jason Tatum.
Well, I like the shoot-first mentality of Tatum, guys. Staying aggressive and keeping constant pressure on the defender.
Now a timeout called by Houston. Are there any changes you'd like to see made in the process when players and teams are fined for any number of things? Incidents on the floor or off the floor?
Well, I think there's a place for fines, and the different amounts depending on how egregious the act is by a player or team makes some sense. I think having different categories. But I'm one that would rather hit hard and less often. So I think if you want to minimize the number of finable offenses, then make the penalty be greater for those things that are fined.
Offline with his 3. Rockets trail by 18. Booker with no one around. Great positioning on the putback.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
Back to Young. Puts up a 3. And the rebound goes to the Rockets. This game is finished. They'll be off to Portland taking on the Trailblazers. That'll be the last game of their very short 3-game road tour.
Boy, what an explosive play from Allen. Getting off the ground quickly in that burst in athleticism. Impressive.
Vucevic dishes to Young. Gilgeous-Alexander pulls it in.
Well, you know, stopping him is never easy to do, but the defense was strong there.
Harden gets the bucket.
Okay, you know, we've seen a much different version of him in this half, guys. He's been sharper, more focused, and more assertive.
And Young kicks to Harris. Vucevic the pass to Tatum. Nice ball movement by Boston. Again, Young missing.
You know, even though they have the lead, you can tell he's frustrated with himself that he's not doing more.
And so it looks like the Rockets will retain possession here. The Rockets making a switch here. Bergson has checked in. So it's the Rockets now. They've only given up 5 points here in the 4th quarter. Harris with it. Working on Bergeron. They get it back. Harris, no good.
And thus far, they've managed to overcome an off game from him offensively.
Harden kicks to Booker. Passes it to Gilgeous-Alexander. Rocket 6. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. It goes on Jason Tatum.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first one falls. He's perfect from the line this time.
And even though they're down, they are putting on a show at the free throw line.
Yeah, they're making the most of their opportunities at the stripe, and they'll need to keep it up to take the lead.
Now a timeout called by Boston.
Yeah, things not going their way, and he wants to just try to talk this one over.
And you know what, guys? If for nothing else, just to slow things down a little bit, change it up somewhat.
And now a moment to take a look at our Jordan player of the game.
He's put on a shooting exhibition for us here tonight. He's missed a couple along the way, but it sure seems like everything's been falling for him. The only way to keep him from converting is to keep the ball out of his hand.
He's played up to his full potential tonight, and he's been playing to the crowd, too. He loves being the star attraction, even if it doesn't happen on a regular basis. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Alden.
Hey, Kevin. Well, look, here's what Brad Stevens went over with his guys during the break. His demeanor was not one of a coach whose team was well ahead. He said, this is the time to turn up the heat, make one final push, and try to close out strong. And see if they were listening, guys.
Free throw drops for Vucevic.
Well, we've seen Vucevic expand his offensive repertoire, guys, adding to his old school post game. He's now demonstrating perimeter shooting and playmaking ability, and that's opening some eyes.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
And Clark, as Vucevic has stepped out from that mid-range to beyond the arc, it's paying dividends.
Yeah, not only is he shooting the three-point shot when he steps out there, but it spaces the floor and opens up things for his teammates, and he's proven himself to be a pretty good passer. The face-up game proving just as effective as his post-up game, which makes him a hard cover.
And Greg, when you're discussing and comparing James Harden and what he's done these last few years, you have to do it on a very historic level.
He's going to go down as one of the best to ever play the game. His production is incredible, and the skill level really is groundbreaking. Easily the best off-guard in the league.
To the inside, Mertens, and a great assist by Gilgeous-Alexander as that one goes in. Gilgeous-Alexander's got 3 assists tonight. Harden against George. Pass to Harris. That one misses. And it's Houston the other way. It's Harden with the power on that throwdown.
And Harden, an absolutely vicious dunker. Terrific at bouncing towards the rim for the epic throwdown.
George against Harden. And George kicks to Harris. And there's the pass to Vucevic. Had the space there, but it's offline.
No excuses, none. I mean, with the defense non-existent, I mean, he has to connect from there.
Here's Harden. Vucevic with the rebound. Vucevic has got rebound number 13 with that last one. Here's Young. And the rejection by Harden. Booker in the corner. They get it back. Allen draws contact on the shot, and now a three-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
Well, you see the hustle from Allen there, guys, and his relentlessness and the mindset to keep at it. It really allows him to gobble up those offensive boards.
Houston leading by 5. 1:16 left in the fourth quarter. Here's George. And it's in. Basket number 6 for him thus far. He has only missed 2 shots from the floor.
Yeah, nice vision that time displayed by George off the screen and roll.
Paul George with the steal. And he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a 3-point play chance here for him.
And credit the whole team. It was a focused, concerted effort to put this one away.
Yeah, what a time to put the hammer down. Any hope of a comeback diminished.
George, no good on the free throw.
And every single season, Paul George has kicked his game up another level. I think he's a premier two-way forward who gets it done at both ends.
I tell you, he's playing the game with pure excitement right now.
He capped off that dunk with some serious end time on the rim.
Yeah, just couldn't contain himself. Couldn't control himself there.
Here's Young. The third shot of the possession finally falls for him.
You know, you love the effort. Forget the size disadvantage. Young is willing to go down there and mix it up.
Now a timeout called by Houston. They're behind by 9. There's 37 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And a new group in for the Celtics. Daniel Tice is checked in for Vucevic. Saric comes in for Harris. Brooks checked in for Tatum. And it's Bruce Brown in for Trae Young. The Rockets also changing it up. Cauley-Stein, he's checked in for Davis Bertans. Justin Holiday comes in for Booker. And it's Buddy Hield in for Gilgeous-Alexander. 4 seconds separating the shot and game blocks. Saric finds Tice. Brown outside. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Saric, and there are the Celtics with another basket.
They made the most of their opportunities, looking comfortable and locked in throughout the night.
Boy, they've given their fans plenty to cheer about, that's for sure. Effort, skill, coaching, you name it, they've done it.
And so it's Boston easily grabbing this one. A confident win and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid performance, particularly here at home. And I think they built off that edge of being here and playing with just a little more confidence than their opponent.
A chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much, Paul. Congrats on the win. Where's your team's attitude right now?
Continue to play together, and we can just stick to that. Keep working, staying confident, keep defending, and knocking shots down. We'll be all right.
Looked like it all came together tonight, Paul. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long and good night, everyone.